Hello, thanks for joining me. You're watching Esther from Stampin' Star Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. This is not how you normally see my desk. This is a bit of a different video for me. I thought I would just give you a few tips and tricks when you're mass producing things. I rarely mass produce cards and products, but these I'm making for our Stampin' Up Onstage convention. So twice a year they have a convention called Onstage, and all the Stampin' Up demonstrators, well, not all the Stampin' Up demonstrators, a lot of the Stampin' Up demonstrators gather together. We get some talks, and we get to look at the new catalogue, get free product. Very exciting event. So it's also an opportunity to talk and to meet other demonstrators, and while we're there you swap something that you've made for something that somebody else has made. So this year I found some of these twirly marshmallows in the shop, and I thought, oh, they'll be nice and easy to buy in bulk. I'll do something with those for my swaps. So I tried a design, it wasn't working, so I redesigned it and I've come up with this. So my original design was to make them look like a cracker, but it wasn't working. But by doing the design like this, it means that I can get 8 sheets out of a 12 by 12. So I do have some more to cut up. So I'm going to have to try and cram everything on my desk. When you're working, your space tends to get smaller and smaller. So here we go. So I've got 4 sheets of scrap paper here, or DSP, designer series paper, and this has got our lovely in colours all the way through this. Now I have put too many sheets through this, haven't I? No, I just about did it. Okay, I think about 4 sheets is probably the limit to go through the cutter to make sure it does actually cut. Okay, so I cut it in half, so obviously it's 6 inches, and then we're going to cut again at 3 inches so that I could get 4 pieces out of this, 8 pieces out in total, which is, I think, quite good going. So cut in bulk, don't cut the sheets individually. Because you're having to make so many, you want to save on that precious time. Maybe that is too many. Okay, you get the idea. I didn't like that bit there, it didn't cut through properly. So maybe I should have done 3 sheets, but it does cut through 4, like you can see. Typically doesn't do it when you're on camera. There you go. So now these are all ready for the next stage. I won't bore you with all the details, I will pause the video. So the next stage of the process, the other thing also wanted to show you was the fact that I used a lot of different adhesives for this process. Different adhesives are good for different jobs. So I'm using a tear and tape instead of our fast fuse, because tear and tape gives you a little bit more leeway, I guess. So if you need to move the paper about, you can, especially when it sticks to the plastic of the marshmallows. Now I've printed off an ingredients list so that people know what products I've used in making my swaps, and that went in the centre. And then, so I do a batch of those, and then I stick it down on the paper, tuck it in and roll it over. Now the next process to this was to get a strip of paper, punch out a load of leaves, and then my next trick, if I can find it, was I used glue dots. So I pre-stuck all these onto the glue dots, so when I come to having a batch of these, I can just quickly whip them off, stick it down, and then do another batch. The next batch, again cutting out strips of flowers rather than working with bulks of paper. I got that tip from Sam Donald. And then I've slightly shaped the flowers. Again, don't do them individually, grab a whole load of them and just shape around the edges. Then my next process was with my baker's twine, So a way to cut out loads of baker's twine is fold them over like this and hold them in your fingers as you go. Fold it and hold it. There you go. Get your snips and just snip up the loop, and they're ready to go for the next part of the process. Okay, this, for ease, I used fast fuse, ran a little bit of fast fuse on my back of my flowers. So you line them up, but do a few of those, bent over the loop and stuck it down. Grab another loop, bend it over, that one's too long, and stick it down. Okay, then to do this, just line everything up, do it in a whole process rather than individually. Now I've used tombow for this next process just because the thread was bumpy and I wanted something that would be able to stick on a bumpy surface. So when I stuck these down, I had about 3 in a row. I'd grab a flower and hold one down with a finger while I stuck the other one down. And then the same process when I came to stick the middle bit. You want to glue a whole lot at the same time. And I stamped up these little words here that say sweet on them using the, what's it called? Thoughtful banners. It had the word sweet in there. So rather than doing things individually, do them in batches and find a way to be able to produce them without having to do one at a time. Okay, so I hope you learned something through that video. It's just a quick video on how to try and mass produce swaps, or if you're doing invitations, the same thing applies. Thanks for watching. You've been watching me at Stampin' Style Creations, and do give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Comment below if you have any questions or want to say anything, and do subscribe to my channel for other videos. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.